Oscar Bevis, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast here in Birmingham for the Hennessy Sports Show on Saturday night, joined by Mr. Brett Mcginty. How are you, mate?
All good, Oscar. One day until the weigh-in. You've seen me stash of food now. I'm ready for it all. But no, all good. Been a good camp and looking forward to getting weighed in tomorrow and fighting Saturday.
I find it hard to believe sometimes that when I come into boxers' rooms, that's the sort of shit they eat after a weigh-in. Like, I'd think you'd be fueling up on healthy stuff, but we're talking peanut butter, Nutella, Jaffa cakes.
Well, believe it or not, they're recommended by the nutritionist, so they are considered healthy. You forgot to mention my porridge and my bagels.
That's the boring stuff, though. I'm talking about the interesting stuff.
But nah, man, it's the reload is the good side of boxing, the weigh-ins the horrible side. So I'm looking forward to getting tucked into it tomorrow, definitely.
Obviously, we spoke last time out. I think that was the first time you were on IFL after your fight last time out. You looked good. You had massive support there as well. We were singing your name from the second we got into the arena. Probably from a professional perspective in your career, the perfect weekend, I would say.
No, my last fight now was brilliant. The performance was really good. It was good to get my first stoppage out of the way too. It's always something you want to get checked off the list, whenever you turn over in the pros. And as you say, they had a great support over as well. They made a load of noise. It kind of felt like I was fighting at home. So it was all around a really, really good weekend. Enjoyable weekend, and hopefully this weekend will be the same.
What are you looking to show this weekend? Because obviously as you go through the fights, you'll fight different styles. You'll fight some people who will tuck up and be a bit of a pain in the arse to get out of there. Some people who might come forward a bit, tall people, short people. What you've shown so far, what have you sort of not shown that you're looking to show perhaps this weekend?
Well, something about this opponent, we've watched a small bit of footage about him. He's a nice tight guard. He does have good defence, to be fair. So, like, if I go out and wing shots at him, he's just going to stand there and take him on the gloves. So, as Ricky said to me, like, it's up to me to find the gaps, you know what I mean? And behind the elbows, and behind the ear, wherever it is, find the angles. If I go out and just start shooting shots at him, he's, as you say, like, these people have seen it all before, you know what I mean? They've been in with all their prospects, and they've faced the likes of me before. So it's up to me to find the right shots, find the gaps to the body, find the gaps to the head, and that's what I'm looking forward to doing. Camps went really, really well. My sparring's been good. My sparring's been probably better towards the end of the camp, which is good as well. So, it's up to me now to bring them things in the ring on Saturday and implement them in the fight, and I'm sure I'll do that.
You seem very unfazed by it, or even when you won last time out, you seem sort of, not that you'd get above your station, but you seem very level-headed. You know that you're going to be in bigger and better fights than the one you're in at the moment. Do you feel any sort of pressure? Because, like I said, even now, you just seem very, very level-headed and very calm about the whole situation.
No, well, not really. Like, there's obviously at this stage of your career, there's obviously a certain element of pressure because, everybody, in the early stages, everybody expects people to win their fights and win their fights comfortably and convincingly, so you obviously have that small element of pressure that, you simply need to get the win. It's as simple as that. But, personally, I enjoy it. I'm starting to enjoy it now more because I have more activity. Whereas, like at the start of my career, my first fight and even my second fight, I was quite nervous because I'd only fought twice in maybe 2.5 years, which was a big it's a long absence for a 20-year-old, somebody in their early 20s. But now I'm starting to get activity. This will be my third fight in Coventry, my fourth fight this year. I'm hoping to have my fifth then in December before the end of the year. So it's all coming nice and natural to me, and that's probably why you see me more relaxed and more comfortable because I know what to expect. I'm looking forward to it, and I've prepared really well.
If you do win on Saturday night, fingers crossed, and then you spoke about the December show as well, I want to talk a little bit about what could potentially be next year because I got one of the press releases that said about you and your interest in the Irish title and fighting potentially at home for the Irish title as well. You're getting to that stage now where because you've shown that you're going to be a good fighter in the next few years and you're going to be in some good fights, people will start bringing up titles and different fighters. For you at the moment, although you're not looking past the couple of fights you'll have this year, have you sort of got something in the back of your mind now that's set on winning an Irish title?
Well, like that was something I suggested whenever I signed with Hennessy Sports at the start. It was something like Mick suggested to me straight away, like, eventually we'll get you fighting back home, which, came, to be honest, as a bit of a surprise that he had mentioned it that early. So now with me starting to progress, as you say, be 5-0, all been well by the end of this year, and, start pushing towards these titles next year. An Irish title is something I would love to win. Do you know what I mean? I've won Irish titles at practically every age group as an amateur. So to win one as a pro would, would be a really proud day, and is something I would, aspire to do. I think the chances of having shows in boxing in Ireland has been boosted even more so now with the fact that Hennessy Sports have signed Aaron McKenna as well as Stevie McKenna. So he has 3 Irish fighters now on his books. So I mean the possibilities of shows in Ireland look very, very likely, and if that can be me fighting for an Irish title, then that'd be absolutely brilliant.
The Paddies are crying out for a show, and I can't remember the last massive show in Ireland with some top Irish talent. Are people back, obviously you're training in Manchester, but are people back home telling you and constantly saying to you, look, we want to see you fight over here? Because like I said, I can't remember the last time there was a big show in Ireland. It kind of feels like we've got so many good Irish fighters, but the place is being neglected a bit in terms of having shows there.
So the thing about it is, like, there's quite a few shows in Belfast, but in the Republic of Ireland and the south of Ireland, there's absolutely nothing. So you'll have people travelling far and wide all over the country to watch the boxing because there's so little going on throughout the country. I mean, in England, there's small hall shows happening here, there, and everywhere. In Ireland, there's no such thing. You have MTK running shows in Belfast and now Conlon Boxing, but other than that, there isn't really anything, to be fair. Well, you have the Celtic clashes actually. Other than that, there's nothing. There's no small halls happening anywhere. So once a show's announced in Ireland, it creates a demand. People want to go and see it. People want to watch it, and I'd be very, very confident now if I got a fight relatively close to home that I would sell quite a few tickets, and there would be a damn good atmosphere.
Yeah, that'd be a serious night, and one I'd like to cover because I like Ireland and I could go for a few Guinnesses after, so I'd be happy all round. One thing I do want to mention is, because I've never spoke to you about this, obviously working with Ricky, that's going to be something that people bring up a lot, and it's one of them things where you don't want it to kind of overshadow you as a fighter because Ricky is so well known and respected in British boxing. But I just want to sort of cover a little bit about your journey and how you got working with Ricky, because you're training in Manchester. It's all going swimmingly so far, but I read that you was a little bit starstruck at first when you started working with Ricky, which, to be fair, I think most people would be.
You know what it was? Whenever I went over with my amateur coach Eugene, first to kind of try things out with Ricky, we went over for 5 days. And we just wanted to see how things worked out. And we were walking through the car park of the gym, which is obviously, to them to me it was all new, but now obviously it's so natural because I've been there a couple of years. But Ricky pulls in his Rolls Royce with his custom number plate, and here he comes strolling up with his sunglasses on. I was thinking, holy Jesus, what's going on here? You know what I mean? This man, I'm going here to be trained by this man. He's multiple world champion. So in that moment, I sort of was, like kind of pinch yourself moment. But then, to be fair, now once we got on the gym, he just puts you at ease. He's a very, very down to earth. He's just, you wouldn't. There's no ego. There's none of that with him. But at the end of the day, he's a damn good coach, and he's improving me all the time. And I feel like every day is a learning day with him, and that's the most important thing. He can be. I know he's been. He's famous for what he done in his own career, and he's loved by the British public. But at the end of the day, he's my coach, and he's a good coach, which is the most important thing.
Yeah, he's obviously definitely going to have sort of assets that he can teach and show you about what to do in the ring. But in terms of away from the ring, you mentioned how he's loved by the British public, and he was just like major, probably one of the best ticket sellers that this country's ever seen. Has he told you anything about sort of outside the ring and the other stuff that come with boxing? Because he's had highs, he's had lows, and outside of the ring, he's probably seen it all as well.
Like he would always say about interacting with the people that's coming over, and he's like, to be fair, as you would have seen at the last fight, like I had quite a good support over, and Ricky was out with us after, talking to all my friends, getting pictures and all this, and some of them were saying to me a week later, here, I was out the other night with Ricky, I hadn't given pictures with him, thinking it was great, and like he's doing that there for me because he knows it'll get other people interested to come and watch me. It'll show that to him it's just a night out and a few pictures, but to them it meant the world. You know what I mean? Them getting a picture with Ricky Hatton, going out and having a few beers with him and all that kind of thing. So he knows that'll benefit me. That'll help me sell tickets in the future, and he's just passing them little things on to me that help, as you say, outside the ring, but also of course inside the ring, which is most important.
So it seems like I said about 5 minutes ago, it seems like it's all going swimmingly, being guided and trained by Ricky, unbeaten, going to see the year out, have a big year next year. Can you potentially think about what sort of future you can have? Because how boxing works. If people see a prospect that they like, they will automatically go, that's a future world champion, even though you've only had 3 fights. So can you what can you take for them sort of things? Because you can't kind of let it get to your head, but you have to understand that people are going to look at you and go, yeah, Brett's going to be good.
Well, that's what I want people thinking. You know what I mean? I want them to see that in my performances. I want them to say, "Here, he's got a bit about him," which is obviously what I want. Every boxer turns over pro with a bit of ambition coming out of the amateurs. With ultimate goals to be world champion. We all want to be champion. There's stepping stones to get there. For me, hopefully it'll be Irish, maybe European, and then eventually push on. Who knows what's around the corner, but as you say, everybody wants to be, everybody wants to be world champion. I want to be world champion. I'm no different, but there's stepping stones and there's ways of getting there. And I'm not one of these people that's going to go and start calling people out and telling people I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. But I'm confident in my own ability. I feel like I'm improving in every fight, and I'm looking forward to the journey.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing it and following it and being there as well. Brett, sweet, thank you very much for your time. Look forward to Saturday and another big performance from yourself, and let's see.
Cheers, Oscar. Thank you.